It's the Machine of Nonsense, episode 169, and we are off the Baileys, folks. I'm your host, Eric, joined as always by Kayla.
Hello.
And we've got Mike.
169, damn, this pod's fine.
Oh, love him. Andy.
To me, my nonsense.
It's great. Every episode we need a new X-Men 97 reference in the intro. So we are talking more Bracket of Nonsense. I have brought, if you listen to the last episode, thank you for listening. I noticed we had a ton of interactions on YouTube. Way to go, guys. Thank you for checking us out on YouTube. And thank you for sticking with it. Had some audio issues, had to do some Frankensteining. And I think we're in a lot better place in this one, guys.
Testing. I think I sound better now.
Kayla sounds wonderful now. And I didn't have to splice in. I don't think I'll have to splice in my audio on this one. So I think we're going to be great. We're going to be golden on this one. If you didn't notice that all of my lines were spliced in, that's great. Because that's the magic.
It's like a pod with a laugh track or something, you know?
Exactly. So thank you for listening to 168. And if you listen to 168, you heard that we are doing something a little different, a little fun with the bracket contestants. So we've already eliminated like a bunch from the initial 64, but we are coming up with fun team-ups from the list of 64, from the Bracket of Nonsense. So I've brought my MLB starting 9, because I'm a baseball guy, and Mike's a basketball guy. So he has brought his NBA starting 5 with characters from the Bracket of Nonsense. So we'll be going over that, and we'll be doing 4 matchups. Kayla will have a matchup, I'll have a matchup, Mike will have a matchup, and Dee will have a matchup from the bracket today. So we're doing a ton of Bracket of Nonsense stuff. Before we get into all that, we should probably go over, what's been up. Arthur Morgan, you guys love him. He kind of rolled over Nathan in our tiebreaker poll. Thank you guys for voting in the poll. That was great. We needed your help. And Arthur Morgan beat Nathan Drake, and we'll move on to round 2. You weren't shocked?
No, I think Arthur's just a different thing, man. He's just there's just more layers to Arthur. Nathan, there's a lot of charming rogues,
I get it. That's fine. It hurt me a little bit to see it happen. But I think it's the right choice. You've said it before that Arthur's just he's a special guy, and Nate is too, but D, so what did you think of the matchups? You didn't get to join us on that episode. Did you think we made the right choice? So we eliminated not Rex. He lost to Heath Ledger's Joker. We obviously the fans they picked Arthur over Nathan Drake. We did Leon S. Kennedy over Anakin, and the last one, what did we have? We had Naru over Mayor of Easttown, Mayor Sheehan. What did you think of the picks overall, D?
I think overall, there was plenty given as far as reasoning, and I just feel like that's the thing that I love about doing the bracket is there's always this really genuine discussion that happens with this stuff. So a lot of these, I probably would have leaned Nathan Drake myself, but
that would have solved it.
but I again seeing especially the audience reaction, it feels right, and then Mike, your plea, it lined up. So like a lot of these picks make a lot of sense. Joker over Erdnot Rex is that was surprising. I honestly thought you guys were going to lean the other way. That was the only one.
On the Discord, we had a lot of discussion about Mark Hamill's Joker being the definitive kind of version of Joker. What did you think of that? Do you agree with that? That Mark Hamill's the definitive Joker over Heath Ledger's?
I grew up with Hamill Joker. Like that was a household name, like between Star Wars and BTAS. Like he's my Joker, but I think Heath Ledger like put so many more eyes on that, on top of it already being a recognizable thing. Like he brought so many more people than anyone in any franchise ever.
Yeah. It changed like superhero movies forever, I feel like, and that's what I lean toward there. But that was a good matchup. I think that was probably the most even out of the conversations we had, maybe. Because
I wasn't shocked by it. I'm glad Rex got his due, as he has in the past, and man, I just love him.
Good guy. We'll be talking more Erdnot Rex. I'm sure. And who knows? Maybe that's Mike's power forward. We'll see. We will soon see. We should get to what we've been up to. Kayla and I saw Furiosa last night. I think I would like to have Kayla describe Furiosa. What did you feel about that movie?
I wasn't super prepared to go first.
I mean, come on.
Furiosa. It was a great performance from Chris Hemsworth. He was a lot of fun. He by far gets like the most screen time, the most dialogue, the most fun to do. He's the star of the movie. I don't want to input too much feelings towards it to like sway anybody else's thoughts. I'll keep it at that.
Did you, Kayla? Can I ask you a question? Did you find it very similar to Fury Road?
No.
No? Okay. That's good to hear.
I'll agree with that. Like Fury Road is a very like tight, very like I wouldn't say all in one location, but very like all of the events take place over like a day basically of Fury Road. And it's just like pedal to the metal, go, right? I think Furiosa's a movie like first off it takes place over a very long period of time. Or not like a very long period of time. It takes place over a period of time. Not a small, not a 1 day, 3 day, whatever kind of period of time. We see a lot of Furiosa's life in this movie, and I think they tried to fit a lot in this movie, and I found it very. I agree with Kayla. Chris Hemsworth was like in a very similar way to Charlize Theron, kind of taking the movie from Tom Hardy, like Mad Max is the title of Fury Road, but really Mad Max has way fewer lines, probably way less like screen time overall than like Furiosa did in Fury Road. I think the same can be said about this movie of Chris Hemsworth's character, Demetrius, I believe is his name. Kind of taking over like the vast majority of the dialogue and screen time over Anya Taylor-Joy's Furiosa, which is an interesting choice. I think both of those, like, that was an interesting choice to do in Fury Road to make it more of a Furiosa movie, and it's an interesting choice to make Furiosa more of a Dementis movie, I feel like. I'll say I left that movie wanting more of this, more in the Mad Max universe. I want to see 30 Mad Max movies. I just
there's tons of action, there's tons of fun chases, tons of fun explosions, tons of fun headshots and deaths and fights and stuff. Like all that's in there. So
yeah. Celine and I are going to see it tomorrow. We're excited. We watched Fury Road last night. We like that one a lot. I almost opened the pod with, I had a podcast and it was perfect. we really like the dumb muscly guy who cheers on his baby brother. But, yeah, very excited to hear what you guys said there. So.
Yeah, it's I think it's a lot of fun, and I want more in the Mad Max universe, and I hope they continue on. I think Kayla and I both agree that Anya Taylor-Joy didn't really do anything special for us, but but I don't know that it didn't matter to me. For me, I still thoroughly enjoyed the movie. I just think her performance was outshadowed by other characters and other just things going on, like the movie itself. For me, I would say it didn't detract from the movie, I guess, but it also didn't.
Do any of you guys feel regret for not nominating Furiosa for the bracket?
Yeah, probably.
I really liked her.
That's a great call out. I think, especially regardless of what I said about Anya Taylor-Joy's performance, I think it does give you a great insight into what made her who she is. So you're gonna get all of that, and I think that adds it adds to that Charlize performance and that character and everything else. And yeah, we fucked up. Is basically what I'm saying. She should be on the bracket. Furiosa should be on the bracket. Even how she became one-armed, let's say, is well done. I thought. That I thought that was really good.
What? She loses an arm? Spoilers!
Spoilers! Oh no! I'm sorry. That's Senua Saga. We should also mention that. We're almost. I think we might finish it tonight. Actually, when we get off this pod, I think we might jump in, and I think we're at the end right now. It seems like it. Short game. Most people have said it's about a 6-hour type game. And we're probably right there at this point. We've played a
tight 5. Nice.
Yeah. And so far I've heard a lot of, I've listened to podcasts and stuff about the criticism of it, and I think IGN gave it an 8, and that's probably where I'm sitting on right now, because it is a very it's a basic game. It's more of that original game of basic puzzles, basic combat, beautiful. Probably the most beautiful game I've ever seen, I think. Kayla, what do you think about the visuals? I know that I've stopped several times and just said holy shit, this is the prettiest game I've ever seen.
They do some stuff really, really good.
Yeah. I mean, it's very pretty to look at, but it's anyone who criticizes the lack of depth on the combat, the lack of depth on the puzzles, I think is definitely well within reason, because it's pretty basic.
Short game. It's pretty much just a short story that you play through.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, very much so. But I'm digging it. I want to see where it ends, and if it sets up for Microsoft has come out and said that the studio has been greenlit for another game, if whether that is a third in the saga or whatever. Maybe I like that they've expanded on the lore of the world Senua and everything. It's become even more fantastical. I would say that first one was like semi-fantastical. This one is just straight leaning into like, okay, this is a fantasy world with mythical beasts and stuff like that. So
that represent things that dive into greater purpose.
Yeah, it's all about psychology and despair and regret, and it's there. It's just some deep themes, but I've really enjoyed my time, and I want more really well done small experiences. Because coming off of Final Fantasy Rebirth, which is 100 hours, and maybe 30 of them really really good hours, like to have a smaller experience where I'm like, hey, I'm mostly enjoying myself for 6 hours, like it that feels good overall. So yeah, excited to see how it wraps up though. I think that's all we've been checking out, right? More Helldivers. We got to play with D and Ryan recently. That was great. I'm sorry, D, that I think I killed you at least twice.
It's okay.
Killed him at least once.
Yeah, it's part of the game. It's part of the game. Yeah.
You got to throw that shit in the backseat quickly, or it's just not a game for you.
It was very much like they were like, you were near the bugs. I'm like, I'm always near the bugs.
Yeah,
I'm never not near the bugs.
My problem was picking up Ryan's like shotgun that just shoots the entire screen for whatever reason. Yeah, and
you really got to get in front there, huh?
Yeah. It was
really not a backboner.
It really turned into bullet hell like very quickly.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
Killed the bugs, killed D, all in one. It was great.
Yeah, it was great. It was great.
But I think that's it. Mike, have you been continuing on your Elden journey?
Well, I have an update on our Owen and mine's bet.
Right.
Okay.
I got to Radon, and I was like, "Hey, Owen, you want to crack at him?" And kind of just outside of that fight is like just a perfect little open area to practice rolling around and swinging your sword and stuff. And I showed him what I'm using, like a sword that's like kind of broken.
Mm-hmm.
It does like it's like special ability does like a volcano blast, and it just fucking rocks things. And then I showed him he went up against the fight. I told him how to heal. Roll. Use your L2 move. It's your best move. He listened to that and like got him to half health his first form on first try. And then like I told him how to use his summon, the Mimic Tier, which is like if you summon the Mimic Tier, you just win in that game. And he summoned the Mimic Tier and beat Radon like on fourth try. And so now I am playing. I have to play through Undertale. Was his choice for me.
Yeah, baby, let's go.
I have to do a all-killing run, a genocide run.
Yeah, it's called an Eric run.
Man.
Yep.
Yes, which I haven't done. So, which will be kind of sad and exciting at the same time.
Yeah, get your tissues ready.
So, do you have to beat Sans in under 4 because he beat Radon in 4?
Ooh,
man, I'm gonna shoot for it, but I know I'm not going to do that. Wow. But I'll beat that dude. I'll beat him.
What does Owen get when you fail this?
When I fail it?
Yeah. When you fail to beat Sans in 4.
Oh, I don't have to beat him in 4. I'm not gonna beat him in 4.
Right. He beat Radon in 4. So, I mean,
I guess I should have unequipped all of the things and said, "Here, you equip what you want, and go into the fight, I guess.
Yeah,
But
if you were a good dad, you would have. But
I put it on
apparently
a
not.
tee for him, and he hit it out the park. That's okay. I didn't even make him do the Elden Beast part, the second form. So, oh well, I lost. It happens every couple decades. It happens, but it's all right.
Okay, Sans in 4.
Sans in 4.
Yeah, Sans is gonna sweep me. Yes, Sans in 4. You are right. I've seen the fight. It's
Episode
silly.
title: Sans in 4. Okay, writing that down.
Other than that, started Sandland, the anime,
yeah,
the game.
Okay.
They have the dub on Hulu now. I think so.
Yeah.
Like 1.5 episodes through that. It's fun. It's a fun little quaint adventure that I like. It's basically, the world is mostly desert now. An evil king, hoards all the water, and
Furiosa.
Yeah.
It does have some kind of Mad Max vibes for sure, mixed with Tank Girl, because you're getting like a sheriff character, a human who wants to. He's a sheriff and he wants to help out everybody, even the demons. So he decides he wants to team up with the demons and stop this king, because even the demons don't have water. They're just having to rob the king, and sometimes they get killed when they do that. So they finally decide the actual king of the demons is just straight up Deborah.
No, he's not. It's a different guy.
It is the same design.
I've seen him. He's Deborah.
He's a different guy, guys. He's a different guy.
Which I'm fine with. I think it's cool.
No,
but
it's wonderful.
It's very
wonderful.
obvious. And
it's wonderful.
He's hey, go out there I think you should go on the journey. And it's just like a cool road trip with these two who run into trouble all the time, of course, trying to find this magical source of water. And it's pretty neat. If you really like just that design, the tank that they have is so cool. I really like all of that stuff. And it's very reminiscent of Dragon Ball more than Dragon Z, which I like that a lot.
Sandland's so
Dragon
good.
Ball is GOAT, in my opinion. But
it all reminds me of Robo, from the bracket.
Hell yes.
Right?
Hell
right.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it does. But other than, played a little bit of Mario Land that came out on the NSO stuff, the Game Boy Mario Land. Love that soundtrack. And rented Civil War. Gonna finally watch that tonight, so I'll be able to talk about that next time. And Furiosa as well. What I thought.
Oh, that's so exciting.
And, I think that's it.
D, aside from venue issues, what have you been up to?
Not really much. Just I kind of binged Blue Eye Samurai.
Ooh, hell yeah.
I finally got. Man, that I didn't know I needed that. I didn't know I needed that. It's so good. Every like classic old samurai film trope is just turned on its head, and it's so well done. Like the attention to detail, the cinematography alone, just I could gush for an hour probably. It's so good. But that was like a majority of my watching, like as far as like focused watching. And then I just I had to put Final Fantasy VII down because it's just a lot of life stuff happening right now. So it's back burner right now as I'm getting ready for baby's first birthday. It's kind of yeah.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised you hadn't checked out Blue Eye. I thought you might have already, but great choice. What a wonderful show. Underrepresented on this pod, honestly. I feel like I was the only one who checked it out last year, and it was quite the ride. All right. Let's do it, guys. Let's get into my MLB starting 9 and Mike's NBA starting 5 using the Bracket of Nonsense characters here. So a little bit of a primer, I guess, for mine. I went very traditional. I don't believe in the DH. You know, I'm a traditionalist in baseball. So I have 8 positions and a pitcher. Is how I broke down my starting 9 lineup for MLB. Yeah, so I'm going to give you I did it in a batting order. So I'll give you the batting order, the position they're playing, and the reasoning for why I picked them here. It's all Bracket of Nonsense characters, and here we go. So leading off for the MLB Major League Bracket team here is Ahsoka Tano, and she's playing shortstop, and I'm going to tell you why. For your leadoff hitter, you need someone who's going to steal you a base, someone who's fast, somebody who's going to be pesky, right? And Ahsoka Tano is someone who I think is going to do really well in a leadoff spot for an MLB team. She's a fast character. She's a Jedi. You know, she's got these wonderful reflexes and everything else. Great athlete. You always want a top tier athlete for your shortstop. And switch hitter. You know, she uses 2 lightsabers, so it doesn't matter who the pitcher is on the mound. She's going to be able to bat left or right. Doesn't matter. She's going to get on base, and when she's on base, she's going to kind of fuck with the pitcher a little bit. She's kind of a shit talker, I feel like. I feel like she's going to be on first base, kind of making like she's going to steal, and really getting into the pitcher's head, because she's a little bit of a brat, Ahsoka Tano. So she's my shortstop, and she's my leadoff hitter, Ahsoka Tano.
Wrong pick.
Wrong pick. Okay, well,
okay.
That's fine. My number two, you need a very patient hitter, especially with Ahsoka on base. You know, she's getting on base. She's going to want to steal. So you need someone who's patient, can take a couple pitches, let her steal a base. The most patient character out of anyone on our bracket is definitely Adrian Veidt, Ozymandias. And he's gonna and. What else about Ozymandias, Adrian Veidt, is that he's a tactician, right? So he's the perfect catcher, I think, in this lineup. So he's my number 2 hitter, patient hitter. If Ahsoka has a problem getting on base or anything else, He's gonna take his walks, Adrian Veidt. Otherwise, he's gonna catch a great game. He's gonna call a really good game as the catcher on my team. So Adrian Veidt is my number 2 hitter and my catcher in my lineup. Number 3, you need a bruiser. You need someone who's there to hit, to drive in. One of the 2 who are going to get on base, and to me, that's Kratos. He's a beast. Gonna just drive in a lot of runs, hit a lot of home runs on this team. But
yes, he is.
You know, with his age, he's getting up there. He's getting up there in age. Not as athletic as he used to be. I'm sticking him in left field. You know, I think he'll make the routine plays, but I don't need him anywhere near the infield or, you know, anything like that. He's hanging out on in left field. But
I think you're underestimating Kratos. I think he can play third base.
You know, left fielders can still win.
He's got a good arm, though. You want him out there.
He can still win a Gold Glove in left field. You know, he's going to surprise some people, but I don't want to like force him into a defensive role. You know, like he'll surprise some people. Adrian
Veidt's going to need like a super glove of some kind. He'll figure it out. Kratos will kill him if he's not careful.
That's true. Yeah, Adrian Veidt, only one of 2 non like superhumans on my list, or demigods or what have you. Right. I've only got 2 actual humans enhanced of any kind. My cleanup hitter, the biggest bruiser of all, at first base, it's Thanos, right? I mean, like that dude's smacking dingers. He's my Mark McGuire of the team.
Ooh, Big Mac.
You need a big body on first base, a big target for everyone to throw to, right? Who's a bigger target than Thanos, right? Just a gigantic beast of an individual. And can you imagine the gauntlet just smacking home runs as a cleanup hitter? I mean,
he doesn't use a bat; he just punches.
I think so. Mario baseball rules, you know. Yeah. That might come up later. So that's my cleanup hitter. My number 4 hitter is Thanos at first base. Cleaning up for Thanos, 5th hitter in right field. Great arm on this guy, Vegeta. Just a beast, you know. Like I think, like if the top 4 don't get it done, Vegeta's gonna get it done. You know, he's gonna watch. He's gonna be intent on like, oh, what are they doing? How are they reacting to the pitcher? I can do it better. He's gonna take what he learns from those 4 and take that into his at bat every time and kill it. And you know, from right field, he's gonna make every play. Super Saiyan. He's gonna catch every ball. Throw everyone out. You don't want to run on Vegeta in right field. He's got a cannon for an arm.
Absolutely.
Third base and hitting 6. So third base, you need almost like extra sensory reflexes. They call it the hot corner. The ball gets on you quick at third base. If you have to make a play at third base, that means the ball has gotten on you quick. So you need someone with I don't know, a spider sense maybe. Peter Parker is playing third base for my team. More of a slap hitter. I don't think he's much of a power hitter. He's more of like a secondary leadoff guy in the 6 hole there. But that's fine. He's going to set up the rest of the lineup.
Webs are allowed out at third?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's webbing up. He's going to be, you know, he's Nolan Arenado over there for you baseball fans. He's going to win a Gold Glove every year.
Yeah, he is.
Yes. Yeah. He's the agility is off the chain, you know. Like for a while he was my center fielder, but I got a different pick for center field. But yeah, I mean, he's Spider-Man. He's going to make every play. He knows what's going to happen every play. So he's probably going to make plays for the other players here because he's got that spider sense going on. And he's going to be a fine hitter too. Probably at like 280, you know. Because he knows what the pitcher's going to throw, right? So that's my 6th hitter playing third base, Peter Parker. Center field, you need someone who's going to just like gobble up every ball that comes anywhere near it, right? Like it's just like
Birdo.
Anything that the closest character to Birdo on the Bracket of Nonsense is Kirby. Kirby's in center field.
It's a bad pick.
If I don't know that Kirby has the range in terms of athleticism, but if the ball's hit to his right, if the ball's hit to his left, if the ball's hit over him, it doesn't matter. He's going to suck it up. He's going to find that ball no matter where it's hit. And then if he needs to get it to a base, to home plate, whatever else, he's got that, he's going to shoot it out. Kirby is known for just shooting it out.
Eric. Before every game, Kirby can just like eat Shohei Ohtani or something, and just eat him for the whole game.
I just need to know, just to clarify. So, like in this fantasy of yours, Kirby is not as small as like a ball of
yarn,
he's
tiny.
No,
he's tiny. He's tiny, but he can still fly. He can fly, so ball's getting over him.
And he's inhaling that ball.
Yeah.
Like he could turn into Carby and just fucking motor to the green monster and just fucking,
Kirby is missing 0 balls in center field. It's like, don't hit it to center field.
I just definitely wanted to see the vision just articulated for everyone at home that doesn't know.
It's going to be beautiful. It really is. But I don't know that Kirby's going to be a great hitter. So I got him a little lower in the order. He's 7th in my lineup. We're protecting him a little bit. My second baseman and also my second non-enhanced individual is Ellie from The Last of Us. I think her and Ahsoka Tano are gonna just be the perfect double play combo at shortstop and second base. She's agile, and she's kind of a badass. She's gonna be like a dirty player. I feel like Ellie, like someone tries to steal a base or something, maybe they're successful, but she's putting that glove in their face. She's hitting them in the face with her glove. She's spiking them.
Pulls a knife.
Oh yeah,
Pulls a knife out.
Yeah, she's spiking them whenever she can. Like you're not getting to second base easy. Everyone's gonna have to fear, making a slide into second base or anything else. Ellie's gonna fuck you up. And I think she can turn the double play. I think Ellie's like athletic enough and aggressive enough to like get those throws from shortstop from Ahsoka Tano and sling it over to Thanos, big target over there. I think Ellie can do it, and I think she'll be
the hand-eye is off the charts.
The hand-eye is off the charts, right?
Archery, like Bo Jackson, hell of an archer. Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
He is. So I think what I'm saying is Ellie, Bo Jackson, same level, same skill.
So Ellie can also play football. So if we ever do this football version of this, Ellie also quarterback probably.
She can handle the pain, that's for sure.
Yes. Yeah. You do a tough slide into second base, take out the second baseman, that kind of thing. She's gonna get right back up.
Yeah.
No problem. But she's also human, the most human out of this whole list. So she's batting eighth. And then number 9 for my pitcher. This was actually probably my hardest position to fill. It's like I don't know. A lot of these people could probably like throw really hard, right? But I need someone to match up with Adrian Veidt, right, at catcher. Someone who's gonna really like match up with his intellect and is like, that's a tough guy to kind of like understand, right? Like, and get along with. You need a good pitcher catcher relationship, and I think the only person on this list that would kind of make sense and would also probably like create like PitchBot 9000 or something to like make the pitches for him or something is Rick Sanchez from Rick and Morty. I think Adrian Veidt, Rick Sanchez, they're going to really have that mutual respect of like, we're the smartest dudes in the room. We're going to get this job done. We're going to pitch a shutout every night. And Rick Sanchez is going to like somehow enhance his arm to just be the greatest pitcher of all time. He's going to like, I don't know, have Roger Clemens' head in a tube somewhere that he's gonna like put on his own body, and that's gonna, because that's how pitching works. So Rick Sanchez is my pitcher, and Adrian Veidt with my catcher. So what do you guys think? That team's gonna win 162 games, right? Every year.
Go ahead, D. Sorry.
I was going to say your first and biggest mistake was putting Vegeta anywhere except for pitcher. He's going to sabotage the team by throwing tantrums all the fucking time.
I feel you.
You got to have, like, wild card. Baseball team. My only problem is I have played baseball with one of these characters, and they were really good at baseball, and that's Mario.
Yeah, he was almost my third baseman,
Mario, always at the starting, at first in the lineup for me, a very dependable pitcher, dependable anywhere on the baseball field is Mario. You get him up on first, batting first, use that star pitch or star hit right away, which is like a flame ball that no one can catch. They catch on fire right away, Eric. Right? So he's getting to first every time, even on a bunt. All right, so it's Mario.
He's really the only character with baseball experience out of this whole list.
Yes.
What? Okay, so who does he replace? If I threw Mario on my list, who does he replace?
I love the Kirby pick, so I won't pick Kirby. I might get Vegeta out of there. I think Vegeta's the pick.
Okay.
Just to keep Mario's going to be a great leader. He's just going to be great for morale.
Yeah.
You know? He's always going to just like give the thumbs up, Just eat, eating pizza in the dugout.
Where's he hit? Because D also said Vegeta was a bad pick. So I mean, is he just swap in at like fifth in the lineup and right field, or what's Mario doing?
Anywhere.
Yeah, he's an all rounder.
Anywhere.
He's all rounder.
Anywhere.
Mario's the Ben Zobrist. Okay, I got you.
He's gonna catch anything that's going over the fence. He's getting with his leaping ability.
True. It's known for jumping.
He is Jumpman.
Yeah. So
fine. Okay. Well, I made a mistake, guys, in right field.
That's okay.
For Vegeta.
Okay.
Look, he looks great on paper. Vegeta looks great on paper, but it's just once you get him out there, the attitude, the ego, he's probably a great player, but
yeah, he's a lot.
All right, you guys are probably right. I'm gonna say you guys are probably right. So, all right. Well, that's the MLB starting nine. Once again, Ahsoka Tano leading off in shortstop, Adrian Veidt at catcher and second in the lineup. Kratos is in left field. Thanos is batting cleanup at first base. Vegeta probably should have been Mario in right field, hitting fifth. Third baseman is Peter Parker. Center field is Kirby. Ellie is at second base from The Last of Us, and Rick Sanchez is pitching on my team. On to Mike's NBA starting five.
Hell of a squad, Eric. I think you did very well.
Thank you.
So at first I was immediately like, oh man, Luffy would be perfect, of course. But I was trying to keep it as low, as believable as possible, because then I was like, oh, I'm gonna put Mario in the Aaron Gordon dunker spot. Any pass, Mario's gonna just put it in there. But I'm like, no, let me try to make the closest I can make to probably the best basketball team I've ever seen. Those the 2017, 2018 Warriors.
Ooh.
With Steph and KD and Clay and Draymond.
Ooh.
Splash Brothers.
So, my Draymond, we're going to start at the 5.
Okay.
I have Jennifer Walters.
Oh, yeah.
In her She-Hulk form, of course. She's just going to be what you need to be. She can guard 1 through 5. She's going to be athletic as hell. She's going to get every board. She's going to make that outlet pass. This team is going to be fast. And I think she will fit perfectly at the 5.
Selfless player, I bet.
What's that? Sorry.
She's selfless. I bet she's you said, she's gonna make the passes. She's gonna be a team player.
But sometimes she's gonna choke the French guy on the other team. Sometimes she's gonna have to do that. It's okay. And it's gonna be on TMZ and all that, but it's gonna be fine.
It's good.
Next, I'm gonna go with Iggy next, and this was my kind of hardest one to do. I had a certain player, but then I'm like, man, this is looking like Hoosiers. So I needed to add Jules Winfield. I think is perfect for Iggy. Kind of the older 6'2", mind you. Jennifer Walters at 6'7". I think she's gonna be perfect.
Yeah.
This is gonna be a small ball team.
Yeah. Holy smokes.
And I think Jules is going to have the experience. He's going to be able to hit a 3 at the end of a tight playoff game. And I think he fits really well.
Yeah, he'll keep us cool.
I almost had Leon Kennedy in that spot. He's definitely on the bench. He's my 6th man. I'd say Leon for sure. I think we've seen just dude's athletic, man. Dude could leap. Dude could flip. Dude, I think he'd be a really good basketball player. Something like he's just like Christian Laettner or something. I don't know.
6th man of the year.
Yes. Next, I have my KD spot. Someone who I want to talk about actually, in regards to the bracket once we get there. I'm going with Magneto.
Ooh.
as as my big wing, and I don't know, he's just gonna he doesn't even have to use any of his abilities. I think he's just going to be able to dominate out there with just his. He's gonna wear that fucking suit from X-Men '97 with the guns out, and no one is gonna mess with him ever. Yes.
With the guns out.
The
master of magnetism? No, master of balling.
Hell yeah, yes,
love it.
Next at the Klay Thompson shooting guard position, Air Sheehan Mare. We know that she can hit the clutch shots just like Klay. We know she won like state championship or some shit.
Yeah, she did.
She plays ball, and she's a knockdown shooter. So with a gun too.
They did not call her Mayor Jordan, which is a crime.
Easy.
A crime.
Easy.
Right. And next, Steph Curry. Well, let me say, Mayor Sheehan, 5'7". Little short, that's okay. That's all right. Well, Magneto's 6'8", so we got decent size in our backcourt. We're gonna have a smallish front court. But my Steph is Ellen Ripley.
Ooh.
Specifically, Alien Resurrection Ellen Ripley. We have seen that she can make ridiculous circus shots. Without any digital effects of any kind. She can make it from anywhere, Ellen Ripley. So
over Ron Perlman, just like over a larger defender.
Hell yeah.
Every day.
Absolutely.
Great pick. Fucking great pick. Oh, I love it. Who's the coach? Who's coaching this team?
Player coach. I'm glad you asked that.
Okay.
At 6'2", Daniel Plainview is my coach.
Oh, shit.
I wanted to have Swanson on the bench as well as an assistant, head assistant. I think they'll like each other a bit. But Plainview just kind of like a Jackie Moon style, like player coach, and will just be able to when Jennifer Walters got to get a rest. He can go in there. He's going to be dirty. He is going to be more Draymond in that regard. He's going to sabotage the other teams somehow too. No one's going to want to come to Plainview Stadium. He's the owner as well, mind you. And like the opposing team locker room is just going to be a pit, and no air conditioning to them at all. And just going to be. We're going to have every edge in the sport.
A whole bowling alley, like inside the locker room for the good guys.
Oh yeah, he'll smack you with a pin. He'll smack a ref. He'll do it. He owns the league too, mind you. He's the commissioner, owner, player coach. He's a quadruple threat.
I love it. So that is the NBA starting 5 and the MLB starting 9. We've got a lot more of these coming. We're going to make an Avengers list. We're going to make a Hogwarts list. We're going to make a D&D list. It's going to be a bunch of nonsense, one might say.
Wrestling factions, right? We have.
Wrestling factions.
Yeah,
that's going to be fun.
Oh, wonder. Yeah, NWO. The Wolf Pack, where we at? DX,
LWO.
Hell yeah.
No, we can't. I don't think we have enough representation.
I don't know that we do.
At Psychosis, we have.
We got to get Solid Snake back on, but the Oscar Isaac version of Solid Snake, and then we're fine.
There we go.
Right. Kayla's over there. She has no idea. What we're talking about.
Nope.
I love it. Let's get to the actual bracket, folks. And we are each going to make a pick on a matchup that we want to see to get to round to at this point. Does anyone have a pick that they want to start off with?
I do.
Oh,
go
man,
ahead. Go
look
ahead.
at that. D, do it.
Since we already brought him up, I want to do Kirby and Ice King.
Ooh, hey, here we
okay.
go. All right. Kirby and Ice King in round one.
Without Tomas here, though? Come on.
Without Tomas here? Oh, man. Yeah,
that's his pick.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the only other one I was looking at was Robo and Xavier.
I challenge you, D, to Robo Xavier. Yes.
Okay.
Come on.
Okay.
Quit ducking me, bro. We know the real reason why you didn't show up last time.
All right, let's lock it in. Robo from Chrono Trigger versus Charles Xavier from X-Men. We're going to do it. We are going to do the damn thing. D, because you nominated, go first. Speak on it.
I mean, so I get to talk about Charles Xavier, right? That's what
I mean, if that's your pick, hell yeah, do it.
Could have been Paul Atreides on this list. Could have been. We got Charles punk ass Xavier.
Damn, we know Mike's pick.
Yeah, let me talk about Charles Xavier. He is one of the best depictions of good intentions, bad execution. Like the poster child of you can be the most good, willing, good-natured person, but those people also have blinders on. Those people have the narrow vision, just like somebody who is working towards something that's not altruistic. Because you start turning a blind eye to the consequences of those types of things. And Charles Xavier, even as he's facing those things, continues down that path. Even though he's confronted with all of these consequences of trying to make this vision of his real, like he
Relying
still
on children soldiers.
He's still raising his soldiers to fight in this world that like just genuinely doesn't want them around. And it's such a like conceptually it's really interesting. And then, you start thinking about what Mike just said, child soldiers. That's bad. That's objectively bad. I think anyone can agree child soldiers are bad. But
I'm neutral on it,
But as a character, it's not just that. He's got a lot of layers. He's tormented by making these decisions. It's not like he's sleeping peacefully. And then on top of his abilities, where he has this flimsy moral high ground, where, he's not going to use it for these things. He's not going to use it to push his agenda forward, no matter the consequences of that. It just makes him really interesting and fun to watch. Like, that's the thing I love about watching Xavier, is how much I'm like, if you just did this thing, if you just did that. And then him sitting in his stupid fancy chair, like, just still preaching for a peaceful resolution, still going, I know I had to do this terrible thing, but that's not how it has to stay. That's not how it has to be. And like, that's still like, it still resonates with me, because you're just he's pig-headed, but like, it really is just him fully like, I'm going to not give up on this dream. And like, just not giving up on a dream, it means a lot.
I feel that. I feel like Mike needs to respond. Mike needs to like fight for Robo, because I know Kayla has no Robo like dog in the fight. So she
No
needs
Robo
to
dog.
hear the love that Mike has for Robo to even make any sort of decision.
Robo, great design by Akira Toriyama, as we mentioned earlier. Robo is from a future where robots have kind of just been built to kill and do like, have no free will or anything. Robo is different. Luca kind of finds him and fixes him and kind of takes out that part in Chrono Trigger. And he is elite in this game as far as the gameplay wise. He can heal. He has like his own special kind of subcategory of magic that he has. Great dual text with all the other characters. And as far as the story goes, he's kind of more slapsticky in a way. He doesn't really know, he's kind of learning things throughout the game. And he makes an ultimate sacrifice at some point where there's like a side quest to return a forest that used to exist in a certain place. And it's possible, but it's going to take, centuries to do this. And Chrono Trigger has a time travel element. So Robo basically prepares this land for hundreds and hundreds of years. And, we go into the future and it's only an instant for us, but, Robo is kind of damaged at this time. He's like very Tin Man, like just kind of rusted in place, I believe. And Luca fixes him again, and it's just such a great. I think that's like the campfire scene, as well, which is like just an excellent scene in that game with all the characters together, just kind of talking about what's going on about Lavos and shit. And he's just a great companion. It's a great party altogether, and how he stands up against everything that he's programmed to believe later on in the game as well. He has to defeat a bunch of evil Robos. And he also is involved in Chrono Cross. He has a very big deal in Chrono Cross. I don't really want to spoil that, what he is in that. It is a nice, very cool Easter egg in that. And yeah. I didn't know it for a long time. It is not like it's not spelled out very well, but it is real. And let me get back to this punk ass Charles Xavier for 1 second, because Robo is perfect. And
that's good.
I watched X-Men '97 with you two gentlemen, every episode of it.
Hell yes.
And this motherfucker was gone for a lot of it, and wasn't it great? Wasn't it awesome? And then he shows up and fucking ruins it. He's like the one dude you don't want to come at the party, like the fuddy-duddy,
Damn.
And he just sucks, man. His dream is bullshit. And he gives up. He goes and, I got my super suit. I can walk again. I'm going to marry this fine-ass alien lady. Like, he was very close to abandoning all that shit. And another member on this list was able to kind of accomplish something without nonviolence. And he actually used his power, what he's capable of, to get people to shut up and listen and all come on to one level. And Charles could he could fix things so easily. And I understand maybe that's a slippery slope. If you change one senator's mind or one world leader's, you flip something in their brain, you're just going to keep doing that. But if he doesn't have the scruples to do that, if he can't do that, then I don't know. Why are you here? You're unneeded. You're unnecessary. X-Men '97 proved that.
Man, Kayla, I think Mike is saying Charles should be more like Anakin. I think is what Mike is saying there. But no, I love you bringing up Robo. Like, to me, Robo is very much the best part of for me, Tears of the Kingdom, I loved Zelda's sacrifice of like going through ages and ages, like having to like sacrifice her entire lifetime and everything else to like accomplish an end goal in the same way as like Robo does. And that hits with me. I love that concept of a character just like waiting a long time or spending like a long time to get to like an end goal, that kind of thing, being like patient and sacrificing their life or whatever, their youth towards a goal. So that hits for Robo there for me. And then Xavier, I get it. Like, yeah, there's the child soldier aspect of it. There's a lot. Like, there's a lot to unpack with Xavier, but his end goal of like mutant and human getting along and no more war and everything else, and his like peaceful coexistence. And him having the restraint, like he's one of the strongest, like most powerful beings that has like ever existed on.
Is he?
I think so. I think in the canon, let's say.
But never seen it.
Well, that's the thing, right? Like you never see it because he's like purposely choosing. He's purposely like
some comic book tells me this person exists.
Right. I mean, like it is
not this man Fender.
I wish I could see more. You know, I do agree, but I love the idea that if we accept the fact that he is like Omega level fucking like Logan, right? The movie Logan proposes a world where like as soon as Charles got dementia, he wiped out every mutant because he couldn't control his shit anymore. Like, so he's on that level, right? I think that's the story of Logan.
Robo never done that shit.
Right.
I know one thing that Robo did. It sounds really cool.
Right.
I know one thing.
I love the idea of a character that like has ultimate power but doesn't just like understands that that's not.
But what's the point of having the power, Eric?
With great power comes great responsibility.
He'll use it on other mutants all day long.
He does use it on Magneto as often as possible.
Like
he's a hypocrite.
That sounds shitty.
He's a hypocrite. He really is.
Robo can tackle motherfuckers, and he does it on the reg, right?
I think I came into this wanting Charles, but you know, I think the thing that honestly separates the two for me is probably the fact that like I love a good healer in an RPG, and that is Robo.
He heals the whole squad.
He does
with one move.
He does, and it's so useful. I do love that. I was going to make the argument that like, it's an RPG. You can choose not to even use Robo for long stretches of the game, but like, why would you? Why would you choose that? Because he is super useful in the game.
If Xavier was in an RPG, he'd be that dumbass character like Go-Go or some shit from FF6 where they just debuff people or something. I think she did shit like that. I don't know. I never used Go-Go.
Yeah.
But he would be a bad character.
Damn. Damn, Mike just Go-Go'd me. That's the way into my heart, honestly.
It's pretty strong argument there to try and level the two RPG wise.
I mean, I guess I'm gonna have to go Robo, honestly, based on the arguments. I like Charles, but Robo to me is like just like unique, and I always lean towards uniqueness. And I like Robo. He's a good dude.
I don't know. The only thing I'll just kind of say in defense of Charles Xavier is you mentioned this crazy thing, this crazy concept of self-sacrifice. And in X-Men 97, they play with the fact that he has spent a majority of his life pursuing this dream, pursuing this goal. And then there he is with the suit that he can walk again. There he is with a woman that he can love and not have to worry about protecting or getting in harm's way because of the things he's pursuing. And he, for the first time in this canon, has a selfish choice that he makes. And we see that, and it's why. Why are you doing this? After all this time, why are you doing that? And he has the moment of thinking about, well, I raised them to take care of themselves, and he believes that Magneto will do the things that he says he will because he believes in his friend. And he has this moment of peace until he doesn't because of what he feels. And after that, we see his turmoil, and he goes back. Even after all that, even after the grandstanding of I'm going to do a selfish thing, I'm going to think about me for once because I know the things that I was fighting for will be handled. He still comes back.
And what does he accomplish when he comes back? Diddly.
What does that even mean, Mike, in this context? Did we watch the end of the same show?
Yeah.
So you're telling me he didn't stop Magneto from also genociding humans? Is that what you're saying?
Have done that. I think we should have stayed on the alien planet.
It's a strong. Again, your point is valid.
Yes, I'm saying that.
It's strong. But you can't erase the character that he is, which is what we're arguing. We're arguing his character, not how you feel about his actions.
Let's get this on the docket. Mike's pro genocide, so we're
pro genocide. All the humans suck in X-Men.
They do. They really do.
Like we just suck.
They do.
Why not? Like this isn't real. Like
get rid of them.
They are the worst.
Humans and X-Men, get them out of here.
Ever in that show, we suck in that world. So, if you don't have powers, you're just not a good person in that shit. And I don't think Xavier has accomplished much with this dream of his.
Doesn't he have a school where mutants come and feel safe?
Yeah.
Yes, and that school gets destroyed countless times.
Yeah,
and
why?
Many mutants die.
Yeah, and why does it get destroyed?
Because of the bad humans that Magneto wanted to kill.
Right. Right. So because of the bad humans, and not specifically because of Charles Xavier, but because of the world he's in. So that's not really a negative to Charles Xavier. That's a negative to the world that he has to exist in and make these hard choices.
So I'm still voting
he's
Robo.
Constantly making the wrong choices. I think that like he just sucks, man.
I want Mike to remember this argument whenever we get to Big Boss. And like I remember in my original Bracket of Nonsense way back when, my argument was like Big Boss's politics are solid, but he is the ultimate like failure. Right, he just keeps fucking failing at his goal, and I feel like Big Boss and Xavier are the same guy. You know, like I just wanted. Let's remember this. I'm going Robo, by the way. I'm going Robo.
Deal.
Like, but just remember, we're playing a little politics here, everyone. Play a little politics.
I have only experience with Charles Xavier, but that's still pretty little. Not a whole lot. I didn't watch X-Men 97. I've only seen like the Hugh Jackman movies. And
sure.
You've seen all the what's that guy? The younger version of Charles as well. I forget his name.
I am a fellow person who cares too much and just You can't.
What's wrong with you guys?
I think it's nice, okay, he's got a school, he's trying to help people, but people suck, and it's very hard to keep up with that fact that people suck.
I just find it odd that, in X-Men 97, Xavier is believed to be dead at the beginning, leaves it to Magneto, and that shit was popping.
Yeah, because Magneto likes to stir the pot.
Does.
Xavier.
He's a pot stirrer, yeah.
He got things done.
What things needed to be done?
Like the government wanting to kill all of mutants. he shows up at I want to save Magneto stuff for Magneto because I think he's the one character who has kind of had a huge come up since the last bracket for me. And to be fair to Charles, I do really enjoy the Patrick Stewart stuff. Some of the McAvoy stuff.
McAvoy,
is really good.
That's the guy I was thinking of.
Yeah.
I do love Charles's relationship with Logan in Logan. I think that's some of the best stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the best X-Men stuff I've seen. When Logan, is carrying him down the stairs and he's like, "It wasn't me, Charles. It wasn't me, man." Like, I'm paraphrasing, but that hit, and it just. I can only speak about me and where I feel and my feelings, and I'm more Malcolm X on this one.
Hey,
and I lean. I can't stand with Xavier. I love Robo. I don't know. Robo is he's just solid. He is just a foundation of that whole cast. I think he's so great. And just look at him. Look at him. He looks like a power loader, but better.
So I feel like it's gonna come down to Kayla at this point because, all right, D, you're Charles, right?
What? No, I was just defending Charles. What?
Oh, okay. You're still Robo, and we're just gonna Robo wins or what?
Yeah, Robo wins. What are you guys talking about?
Okay.
I said I would passionately defend Charles Xavier. That's what I said.
Oh, what a twist!
You're here.
I love it. Okay. Well,
I'm gonna commit to the thing I'm gonna do, but I love Robo. What are you talking about?
Oh, what a twist! I love it. Okay, so Robo from Chrono Trigger takes down Charles Xavier from X-Men. We love Charles. Good guy. James McAvoy, great performance there. Ian McKellen. Ian McKellen was Magneto. So Patrick Stewart is who I'm talking about. But anyway, Robo takes down God damn it, Charles Xavier. I'm all over the place. Robo beats Charles Xavier in round 1 of the Bracket of Nonsense, and that's that. So D had one. Mike, you said you had the second one, right?
I mean, that was my auto was to Robo and Xavier, but I don't know. If someone has one, shout out. I can only kind of see the part of the bracket you're looking at here. If we could scroll.
So yeah, I can definitely scroll, but I had a pick.
Go for it.
Cool. And I think it's very relevant to this conversation. I feel like it's what we need to do. I would kind of like to do Magneto and John Wick. Because we've already kind of brought up Magneto a little bit, and I feel like it's what needs to be done at this point. Magneto versus John Wick.
What was our rule? Because we had a weird rule with Magneto or something where we picked the movie version of Magneto.
We did.
Okay.
It's tough because we've gotten more of John Wick and we've gotten more of Magneto since the old bracket, and I do feel like it's all it might all be relevant. I don't know if we want to keep to that just the cinematic version of Magneto. If we do want to keep to that, I still feel like there's a solid argument to be made one way or another. I feel like the cinematic version of Magneto is still really well done. It captures his essence, like what he is as a character. But X-Men 97 also did really good with Magneto, so I don't mind if that influence comes in.
I think it's impossible for me not to have that. And, like, he was so strong on X-Men.
How do you guys feel? I guess I'll ask like D and Kayla. I know Kayla, you didn't check out X-Men 97. But if we add the context of animated Magneto to the character, is that fair? Is that unfair? What do you
held
think?
Against Heath Ledger.
Interesting. It was at least brought up, that there was an animated version of the Heath Ledger Joker. That's an interesting concept.
I think that got taken wrong. I was just like, man, for me, like, Hamill is the Joker, but he's right up there. Like, he's very good. I didn't want to. I wasn't trying to.
We had to pick one or the other.
Oh, gotcha. Right. Yeah.
I think that's what Taylor meant. Yeah.
Okay. Right. It wasn't Joker Universal. Okay. Yeah. Interesting. Okay.
Even though we just kind of didn't do that with Charles Xavier, but it didn't matter, I guess.
Well, the picture I picked was the animated version,
Right.
So I feel like that's what we were kind of more so talking about, honestly. And I feel like the conversation ended up being...
We talked about the movie stuff, and you kind of have to talk about just the character in general. And there's almost 100 years of the dude. Like, I don't know. That's tough.
True. Yeah, it's tough. I guess we'll see. I added John Wick because I feel like he should be. He's just a really cool. Like, that series is just so freaking cool. He's a really cool character. I love the backstory. I love the like stoic nature of like guy just like angry at the fact that his wife died, angry at the fact that like his dog was murdered, and then from that to where we get to through John Wick chapter 4, the evolution of the character, of the world that he exists in. It's just a really cool arc that I loved and I hope is over. I don't know.
It's not. But
yeah, the world's not over, but I'd be okay if John Wick was.
Wick to be gone.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, and if they can do the world well, that's fine too. If Ballerina is good, then fine, great, whatever. Like I heard that Continental show wasn't great, but whatever. Yeah. But Donnie Wick,
Yen supposedly getting a spin-off,
and that's the coolest thing. We got like really cool side characters, the like concierge from the Continental, the guy from Deadwood, I can't think of his Ian McShane. Right, yeah. Lance Reddick was the bellhop guy. I don't know. Yeah, like just Chiron, right?
Yeah.
Just great cast of characters, cool villains in each of them. I feel like every John Wick has a really cool out there kind of adversary. Really cool arc. So that's why I added him to the bracket. But all of that being said, Magneto, okay? Holocaust survivor, mutant, Omega level mutant, really went through it. And if we're saying that the X-Men 97 arc can be added to his canon, and we say that like that is a part of the Magneto experience, despite his shoulders, his exposed shoulders, which I wasn't a fan of.
Why?
I loved the expansion of the Magneto character, some of the best episode maybe like 2 or so, when he has the monologue of like, don't make me let you down, I think is the phrase that he says. Just goosebumps level shit. And kind of the best part of some bad X-Men movies as well, even if we stick to just the movies and his portrayal by Michael Fassbender, his portrayal by Ian McKellen. The movies of varying quality, up and down, all over the place, but consistent, great Magneto shit. And I think I've only grown to love that character that much more over time. So I think he might be John Wick for me, but anyone else has anything else to say about the man?
I just sided so heavily with Magneto in 97. I love his allusions to, like you mentioned, Holocaust survivor, like knowing like I've seen this story before, Charles. All right. They're going to put us in camps or worse. And and just, trying to get ahead of that result. And the stuff on Genosha, the event, I think that's like episode 5 or something. The remember it is the episode.
Sure.
And Gambit gets the real great ending in that. But Magneto has, when he's just he is trying to do his best, Charles, and that's when they break him and he snaps out of that shit and fucking figures out, I'm gonna hit him where it hurts. I'm gonna turn off the Wi-Fi. And that shit was dope. Like I don't know. Wick is great. Keanu, he's just perfect at it. I don't know. It just makes sense. He makes that herky-jerky kung fu look so good, I think. He does so well with all of these other like masters of the craft. Hats off to him. I know he figured a lot of that out previously with the Wachowskis and stuff, with the Matrix stuff. But I don't know. He makes guns cool, which I love too, because growing up, Eric and I both love the loading up scene, gearing up, and there's a lot of good stuff of that with John. And I don't know, he is kind of like too stoic in a way. Like he doesn't give you. I want more. I want more of your backstory with all these other people. It's always just like, man, John's a badass. There's no other meat there, which is kind of a ding for me.
There's very little.
Yeah, which I kind of love too, the show me, don't tell me kind of thing, or tell me, don't show me, or whatever. But it's tough because I really love John being added to this list. I just thought those movies only got better as they go, which is crazy to think about. And I don't know. I in a fight kind of sense.
Oh boy,
I don't
John would
know
have
that.
double.
I don't. Yeah, that Kevlar fucking Dracula defense that he does. I don't know if he's going to be able to block all of that Magneto's flinging at him. I brought up a plastic gun in the past. Maybe that's how John would get him in that sense. But I don't know. I'm just such on a Magneto high after that great season of X-Men. And I don't know. What does everyone else think? Kayla, what do you think?
Again, it's one of those things where there's just so much of Magneto that we have to go off of instead of the 4 movies we got for John Wick. And like you said, there's so little meat on the bones there. Like, really the best stuff of John Wick is just the action, the scenes, the setups, the stunts.
Yeah.
All of it is just very beautiful to watch, even though it's like incredibly violent most of the time. But it's really impressive what they do. But he's not necessarily a character that you do you like him? Do you dislike him? You kind of, other than like, damn, he's badass. Yeah, I love dogs too. Fuck him up.
Right.
That's kind of all you have to grasp at for him as like a human.
Yeah, and we've had such a flood of decent John Wicks. We're honest, like other kind of film, like that one with Saul. I forget his
Nobody.
name. Yeah, Nobody was pretty good.
Bullet Train was pretty good.
Bullet Train was pretty good.
Yeah, and
there's a trailer ahead of Furiosa called Kill. It's like a Bollywood, I think, movie.
I think it's
Really?
called Kill.
I think it's called Kill.
Really
Check it out, guys. It's interesting. It is very John
okay.
Wick coded, let's say.
Piercer meets John Wick.
Ooh, that sounds amazing.
Yeah.
I guess my one piece for John Wick would be that the thing that makes him interesting is exactly what you guys said. He's badass. He's a character. Not so much a character, but I think the John Wick, like the first one, really sets up like the crux of like the rest of the movies, which is that he doesn't want to be this badass force of nature, singular entity type of thing. And it really sets up in that first movie of like his conflict is who he is. Like conflict is who he is. He is a force of nature. He's no longer, he doesn't have a personage. He doesn't have something to give the world. He's only able to take stuff. Yeah. And and that's the other thing. He doesn't get to have that. He attempted, and that got taken away from him. And it's so much more than just a wife and a dog. He doesn't get the privilege of all these other people that he sees going by their day to day to just exist how he wants to exist because he's tired. And I love that. And I love the whole, like, it always comes back to,
I guess I got to do it.
Yeah. And then just, yeah. Very similar tragedies for both characters.
Yeah.
And then very, very cool, vengeful, shit happens after that. And Magneto gets his share of really cool action kind of stuff too. I remember Fassbender in that Nazi bar, stabbing dudes. The quarter trick with Kevin Bacon and First Class is so good. And that's the movie for me where I'm like, Magneto's it. Like that, Charles, get out of here. Magneto, like you know what's up. And it's weird because I could see Fassbender being Wick. I could see Keanu being a decent Magneto too.
That would be great.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We saw Fassbender in The Killer. We know he can keep up at least with that regard. But I gotta go Magneto. It's sad. I love John, man, but Magnus. I gotta go the master of magnetism.
These setups are so tough.
I know. Yeah, all the matchups. Yeah. Where are you at, Kayla, on the matchup?
I would say Magneto. I everything you guys are saying about it, I just keep wanting to reply, yeah, Thanos was right. Thanos was right. Like,
Magneto's a very Thanos kind of character in a lot of ways.
Yeah, which I love. I also am a fan of, well, burn them all. Fuck it. Kill them. They suck. So, I'm a very emotional person. I get down with Magneto more than Keanu.
I get it. D, what say you? You've made an impassioned plea for Wick, but is that what's in your heart?
It's always tough when we talk about Magneto because I just have a lot of bias, like infinite bias when it comes to Magneto. And and the thing that always kind of like strikes me with Magneto is that for majority of his, run, it's like a lot of like not seeing the other path. And recency bias be damned, he made an attempt. He tried. He really tried to not fully change the way that he goes about things, but looking for a different end result. And I feel like as I was thinking about this matchup, like what's the what like every time we do these matchups, I'm like, what's the thing I can compare them on? And it's just the conclusions they come to as characters were different, right? So like Magneto, he thinks his friend is gone. He says, I'm going to take a crack at it until it doesn't work. And to his own surprise, he found a way to make it work. He found a way to make it work until it was outside of his power that it didn't. And John Wick just goes back to what he knows. He just goes back to killing. And he goes back to the thing that makes him feel safe because he attempted it and it didn't work. Someone go Magneto.
Oh, going Magneto. Okay. Yeah, I think. I mean, I think that's a sweep. I think it's Magneto in a sweep at this point. For all the reasons everyone already said. Magneto's he's a deeper character. At the end of the day, I think like John Wick's cool. Magneto is cool, but also just like intensely deep and important, I think, of a character. And I think Magneto wins in round 1 over John Wick. And that's what I'm gonna do in the bracket. Look at that.
Not enough guns.
There.
There wasn't enough guns.
Yeah, and I think, the tiebreaker is just that like John Wick would be really bad in a head-to-head matchup with Magneto. It'd be a tough head-to-head matchup.
I think he'd figure it out. I think he'd pull it through.
He'd figure it out.
I think he'd get one of those weird guns and stop his powers from working or something.
Didn't in like the third X-Men movie, didn't they have like plastic guns or something? That was a whole plot point. Yeah, I feel like that was a thing. Yeah, that movie's great. So, we have done 2 round 1 matchups. Magneto over John Wick and Robo over Charles Xavier in the Bracket of Nonsense. We've also had our MLB starting 9 and NBA starting 5. It's been a hell of a Bracket of Nonsense episode 169 of the Machine of Nonsense. Let us know how we did. Let us know what you're thinking about the bracket.
Ball pit in 2 places.
Machine of Nonsense at gmail.com.
Do you guys
think Monstars is where you find us.
We need a
Ball
quote.
Pit in 2 places. We're also at the Machine
I
of
don't want to
Nonsense
do
on
them
all
ever.
other social media.
Like go 8 is the
episode
ball
169
pit
is in the
place,
books,
that kind of
folks.
stuff.
Thank you for listening. Well, what I'm saying
Butters.
we are getting
Butt
like
rudders or whatever.
21 and over.
Goodbye.
Bar, full bar, like cool,
I'll
like
never say bye.
and then you got
That's
the ball pits and
they're liable for
the
I
jumping.
don't ever want to go in a ball pit.
No?
Ever.
Okay.
So many people are gonna puke in that fucking
You're
ball
right. Yeah,
pit.
they're gonna puke. You're right.
And piss. They'll piss, man.
Yeah.
They'll do it.
Are you ready? Are you ready for the?
their clothes will come off.
Are you ready
Don't
for
let anybody
the?
in that pit.
You ready for the revolutionary? The solve for that. You just make the bottom. It has a drain, and then at the end of the night, it has like a trapdoor thing
Ooh.
that just gets rid of everything.
Yeah, the balls go.
Even the people. Even the people.
Fresh balls every day.
Fresh balls.
Just fresh balls every day. And fresh people.
I'm glad I started recording once we started talking about fresh balls, and I'm clipping that out in some kind of way. This is good. I have drank a bottle of Bailey's leading up to this episode, so this will be the least sober I've ever been in an episode. But nice. I think we're good. You know, it's great. It's good. It's been a good day.
We found said bottle of Bailey's in our garage from a thing that I got from my hoarding aunt.
Hell yeah.
And Eric couldn't just throw it away, so he drank
probably from a good year.
So it said 2021 on it. Now I'm taking that to mean that's when it was bottled, as opposed to that's when it like expires. You know,
aged Bailey. Yeah, I think that's it. It's booze, but it is kind of like a dairy booze, right?
It's a dairy booze. It's a dairy booze, but
here's my question. Here's my question.
That would have hit you.
Here's my one question.
If it was bad,
was it sealed?
It was sealed, cracked. You know, you heard the crack, solid crack. Ooh. You know, completely sealed, unopened, unspoiled,
uncheesed. Uncheesed Bailey's.
Uncheesed. Okay. I took a swig from the bottle. took a smell first. Then a sip. Smelled fine. Put it on ice, and the rest is history.
Buzzball zone. Buzzball zone.
That's the name of the.
You can get them. You get them to invest. You can get buzzballs to invest.
If it gets like that,
the
Rick
whole
and Morty
ball pit is buzzballs.
Yeah, just use buzzball containers. You get them to invest.
Gotcha.
God damn, this guy. Yeah. Be doing the marketing for the pod.
If you find one that's filled, you're sealed.
Sealed.
He likes it sealed.
Sealed.
Yeah, it's got to be sealed. I wouldn't
find the token buzzball.
I'd rather have the edibles and like a J version of this instead.
I mean, but that's the thing. That's the thing. You can
swings.
No one's gonna stop you,
pit, bro. It's just a pit of hacky sacks, bro, and you pick one out.
Hacky sacks.
No one's gonna stop you from doing that. Like that's the thing.
But it's a separate thing. The
sack room. The sack room is a different room, Mike. The sack room is a different room.
No, it's a different vibe. It's a whole different animal. And
there's a lot of places with different vibes.
Alcoholics and the vomiters. I want to stick with the people that are going to eat some food. You know, chill out.
As someone who always mixes both,
a giant swing, just a big swing, and you don't even push yourself. You don't even have to, it's going to be different, less intense.
Fine with them being in the same place. I think a place can have multiple.
No, because they'll come over to our side.
Well, the problem is like your place, Smoke Zovry Zone or whatever, is going to have to be in like Michigan or or in Illinois, but with super high like taxes and prices. You know, I'm trying to be the everyman in Indiana. You know, like the cheap Discovery Zone.
Chief Zone.
So what? TM. TM.
That's how it works. If you say it on the internet, I'm
Chief
keeping
Zone.
this all in.
TM.
This is how we're introing the whole episode.
Oh Lord. Okay.
That's good.
I love it. Yeah.
Look out for Machine of Nonsense originals. A pop up near you.